Alright guys, welcome back to a new series that me and Kieran have created, where we basically go through this year's top draft prospects and then give the pros and cons of their performances and then give an overall prediction of where they'll go in this year's draft. The first player that I'm doing is Andrew Thomas, offensive tackle from Georgia. I'll give you some of his numbers here. He's 6'5", 320 pounds and has a 36.5 arm length, and that is in inches, may I add. In his first year, he started off at right tackle, then made the transition to left tackle in his second year. I'll be going through some of his games in this video today. I've picked out 3 in particular. Notre Dame is the first one that we'll go through, so let's start the video now. As we see here, it's a running play. He moves inside, gets the linebacker. Swift does a not bad job to get a couple of yards. I do feel that Andrew Thomas is definitely a better pass protector in my opinion. He's still got a wee bit to work in the running game, but obviously when he makes that transition to the NFL, he'll obviously make the improvements. Picks up the speed rusher, pushes him out of the way, clean pocket for Jake Fromm to make the pass. That's one in particular thing I like to see from him. He's quick with his feet. Slides across, gets this speedy rusher, just gets him out of the way and lets Jake Fromm make the pass. Next play here, another power rusher here. He just holds him well. That arm length is unbelievable. He manages just to stop his opponent right in their tracks, can't get anywhere near the QB. He's a dominant force in the college football league, and I can't wait to see what he can do in the NFL. Right, so we'll go into the third play here. Another pass. Oh, that was absolutely brilliant. Let's rewind that. We'll rewind this one. First rusher just goes straight for him, slides across, lets the other lineman take him, and then he just slides and takes the other rusher. Brilliant from Andrew Thomas. Uses his quick feet again and then just picks up the defensive tackle. So as you can see so far, he is a force to be reckoned with in the pass game, and I can't wait for him to be blocking for Dwayne Haskins next year, hopefully. Right, next play, near the goal line, he gets right through, right up into the linebacker's face, and they're able to punch it in for a touchdown. That's one great play from Andrew Thomas again. I really like that play. Also the pass play that we just seen as well. Standout performers on that Georgia O-line, which is really good all over, to be honest. Let's see. It's another pass. Pushes one inside, pushes another. Jake Fromm, clean pocket, easy throw. That's what happens when Andrew Thomas is blocking for you. He's unbelievable. Quick feet, slides across, pushes the D lineman out of the way. Absolutely fantastic. What's the play got to be? It's a run. Gets his defensive tackle. Oh, that's a brilliant play. He moves the defensive tackle out the road, and it's a big hole for Swift to just run through and get the first down. Absolutely fantastic from Andrew Thomas. Brilliant. Takes the defensive end out the position, moves him away from the QB and lets him have time to throw the ball. Absolute brilliant from Andrew Thomas again. I can't speak highly of his praises anymore. The only thing I would like to see more of is bending his knees a lot more, getting lower so he can get more explosive as the defensive end comes closer to him. He's often just hunched down by the waist, and he just needs to get lower with his knees, but that's only a slight thing that can obviously work in the future. Alright, so we'll move on to game number 2 versus Arkansas. Let's see how he does. First clip. Near the goal line again. Lead blocking, gets right, uses his power upper strength and just pushes his way. Big hole for Swift to get through for the touchdown. That's impressive, really impressive. Uses his upper body strength, his arm length, just to create a massive hole that you could get a bus through, to be honest, and that's a brilliant play from Andrew Thomas. More pass play, uses his feet quickly, slides across, gets the defensive end. His awareness is absolutely brilliant there because there's 2 rushers going towards him. He carefully picks up the right one, then his left guard gets the other. Right, we'll move on to the third clip here. We can slow this one down. It's another run. He creates another big hole like he did in the first play, and it's just a big run by Swift. But that all starts because of the big hole that he created, and it just gave Swift a flimming, any running back could have run through that. That was amazing for Andrew Thomas. Got the defensive end in the inside and just made the massive hole. This will be the final play of this game because Andrew Thomas got benched in this game because Georgia created such a big lead, and there was no more highlights for this one to show. So let's see it. Another pass play, gets his arms out, right up in the shoulder pads, gives Jake Fromm enough time to scramble and gain a couple of yards. But if you look at that again, we'll rewind this one. Gets his hands up high, gets him right in the shoulder, keeps him there, gives Jake Fromm definitely enough time to move and get a couple of yards. Right, we'll now move on to the third and final game versus Alabama in the 2018 game. This is probably one of his most difficult games he had all year. He came up against some fantastic D linemen, including Isaiah Buggs, Quinnen Williams and Raekwon Davis. So this is a big test for Andrew Thomas in this game, and we'll see how he copes with coming up against one of the best defences in college. Well, second best college defence that year after Clemson. First play, gets number 47, he comes for his blind side, he picks him up brilliantly. He wasn't even looking at him, to be honest, and he picks him up for his blind side and manages to make a great block, and Jake Fromm has time to make the pass. Second play here, he's coming up against Raekwon Davis, holds him brilliantly, and it creates another big hole for Swift to get through. He just uses his arm length against a really good lineman, Raekwon Davis, who's going to be a future first round pick this year, and he just uses his arms, creates a big block, and it's easy for Swift with that type of block, to be honest. Moving on to the third clip here, I think it's against Buggs he's coming up against. He uses his quick feet, gets out, puts his hands up right into the shoulder pads again, and just stops the pass rush and gives Jake Fromm enough time and a clean pocket to make a good throw. The only negative that I see from this game is he's being too aggressive on the D lineman. He's going too quickly, and this allows the D lineman to sometimes get round him to make a play. That's the only downfall I see in this game. In this upcoming play, we can see that he's been over aggressive. We'll see right now. He goes low on the block, he's not got his head up, and often results in a loss, tackle for loss. That's where he's been too aggressive, his feet aren't moving quick enough, and he just hits the floor like that. And big play made by the good defense of Alabama. When going through Andrew Thomas's tape, this play stood out a bit. It just shows how easy it was. This speed rusher, he just mauls him, throws him to the floor basically with one hand, and it just shows how easy it is for him to just use one hand, get the rusher and just swing him to the floor for the run to be made. Quinnen Williams, Buggs both come from, he slides Buggs across, picks up Quinnen Williams, uses his strength, and Quinnen Williams is nowhere near making a play. And this is a big defensive tackle who got picked third in the draft this year, or last year, however you want to call it. So obviously a great player, and he just shows how fantastic that play was. Sliding across Buggs, then just picking up Quinnen Williams. Second final play here. This is where he gets beat. The speed rusher gets to the edge, then just swipes down Andrew Thomas's hands, then Ray just makes a sack play there, brilliant play. And then we continue on to the next play, showing absolute brilliant from Andrew Thomas. Let me go back and watch that again. Raekwon Davis, I think. He uses his arm length there brilliantly. You see how far his hand was up into the defensive tackle's shoulder pads. That was just a prime example of how he uses that. Uses his quick feet to slide. Perfect pocket for Jake Fromm. It's crunch time here, so they had to go for the Hail Mary. And he's obviously done well. Right, so that's all the tape watched, so I'll now move on to give some positives and negatives of Andrew Thomas, and then I'll give my prediction of where he'll go in the draft. So obviously from what we've seen so far, we've seen that he's got a lot of athleticism. That is a big key that you need to tackle. He's got the size, he's absolutely massive. For being a quick guy, he's got the quick feet. That's what impresses me the most about everything that he does, is his quick feet for being such a big guy. The power that he has to move the defensive ends out the way. Absolutely fantastic film, to be honest. And this is what, well, I'll let slip here that I want him, but hey ho, we'll see how the draft goes. Faye, looking at the draft, he obviously is the most developed and the less raw out of all the O-linemen in this year's draft, and I can definitely see him going top 5. I feel that he is a fantastic pass protector. He's brilliant for Jake Fromm. Any QB would flipping want him to be your tackle. He can improve in the running game. That's where I feel that he could improve a wee bit. It's just to create better blocks, because for what I've shown you today, like, it's only the best parts that I've shown. In the future, I should have probably given a couple of negatives that he done wrong. I gave 1 or 2 where he was over aggressive. He dived at the body of Raekwon Davis, and obviously that ended up as a tackle for loss. I do feel that he needs to use his strength more. I know he does it quite a lot, but he has to use his strength more to create the bigger blocks and make running room for, well, his college career is a bit over, but in the future in the NFL he could do it for Darius Guys, hopefully. So just get the defensive ends out the way, create big holes, and he'll have a successful NFL career. One game that I never put in the highlights was against Kentucky, where he matched up against one of the best rookies so far this year, Josh Allen, who's been brilliant for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He matched up against him in well, they never matched up much, but when they did match up, Andrew Thomas dominated in the pass game. Gave Josh Allen not even a sniff of getting close to Jake Fromm. Blocked up well, and overall just absolutely dominated him. Obliterated, as I should say. Josh Allen did not bad in the run game, which also says that Andrew Thomas should improve on. So we can definitely see that he has starting qualities to be a great fucking O-lineman for the future team, hopefully the Redskins, as I keep dropping hints about, which is basically spoiling my draft prediction, to be honest. Some negatives that I've seen of Andrew Thomas, to be honest, is obviously, I say, is a wee bit of the run game. Keeping his head up when when going to run block as well. Keeping his head up, pushing them out, creating big holes. Obviously, he's not as explosive if he's got his head down. He just needs to keep that up as well. I would also like to see him get towards the linebackers a lot more in the run game. He does well moving the D lineman, but I want him to get into the second phase and get attacking the linebackers and rushing safeties like Trent Williams does. Also, I would like to see him be less aggressive. He should wait for the defensive end to bust at him. Stand strong. He's a tall guy. Stand strong, move him out the way, protect your QB, and just do your job, to be honest. But overall, he's definitely gone in the top 5 this year. He's the best O-lineman in the draft, and I think he'll go 3rd to the Washington Redskins. Also, I would like to end on a player comparison that I hope Kieran does when he does Tua Tagovailoa, where we compare the college player to NFL players past and present. I'll compare him to 2 present players of Andrew Thomas, of Jason Peters and Trent Williams. Both fantastic Hall of Famers in the future, they two. Both playing in the NFC East, so I've seen Trent dominate for a couple of years for us, and also seen our outside linebackers struggle getting past Jason Peters, to be honest, for years. But the comparison is both players are fantastic in the pass game, and that's where I see him mostly at Trent Williams, because he was fantastic for us. If there's some way to get him to stay, I would be so fucking happy, but it looks like it's the Endy's run in Washington, But that's the two players, Jason Peters and Trent Williams, that I would compare to Andrew Thomas. So he's got big shoes to fill up to be, if he wants to be a future Hall of Famer. So thanks for watching, drop a like, subscribe, cheers.